Well, hi guys, Mark here. Well, today we're going to be having a look at the Honda Rebel 500. So stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Right then, so let's take a look around this lovely Honda CMX500 Rebel, and many thanks to Honda UK for lending me this bike for a few weeks. So price on these, they're coming in at £6,199. Now that's for the base model, which doesn't come with the gaiters or the diamond stitch seat or any sort of surround on the headlight there. You can get the SE model, which is £6,599, which does come with the gaiters and the diamond stitch seat and a different surround than what this one's got. This has got like a fly screen fitted by Honda, and this Honda Rebel's also got like a rack and a backrest fitted as well. So A2 compliant, these bikes. Coming with the same engine that's in the whole Honda 500 range, 471cc, liquid cooled, double overhead cam, 8-valve parallel twin. Now, this particular engine in the Rebel has been slightly revised. It's been given a slightly different fuel map for a little bit more bottom end power and torque, and you can really feel that when you're riding it. Power on this, 46 horsepower at 8,500 RPM. And torque is 43 Newton meters at 6,000 RPM. So we've got a mid-mounted foot pegs on this, gives a very relaxed cruiser sort of riding position. I'll put a cutscene in a minute of me on the bike, you can see me on it. Now, one of the unique selling points of this particular bike is it's got a super low, probably one of the lowest seats you can ever get, 690mm. So if you're in the market for a low bike, a low seat height bike for whatever reason, you definitely might want to give these a look. Just take a look at me on the bike. I'm 5'7" tall, 30-inch inside leg, and I weigh about 70 kilos, just so you can compare the way I fit it to yourself. These have a 6-speed gearbox, very smooth shifting. We've got an 11.2 litre fuel tank on these. Not a huge tank, but these are very, very economical, these engines. Got good experience with these 500 Hondas. Honda are quoting 26 kilometres per litre, which is around about 75 miles per gallon UK. From experience with gentle use, these engines can easily give more than 80 miles per gallon, so you're going to get a range of over sort of 150, 160 miles at least, I would have thought, out of this. Weight on this, 190 kilograms wet weight. We've got 136mm of ground clearance there. Tyres, we have Dunlops on the front, got a 130 section on the front and a 150 section on the rear. Really nice wide sort of bobber style front wheel on this, very wide front tyre, 16-inch wheels on this. I must admit, I'm absolutely loving the kind of the cruiser bobber look that these Rebels give. So we've got a sort of a minimal sort of speedo. We'll look into that a bit later on. It's got a side key, which is quite different. Normally you've always got the key sort of up here. Got a single front disc on this, giving adequate stopping power. Nissin 2-piston caliper up there. Single disc on the rear. Got 41mm non-adjustable front forks, and we got twin Showa preload adjustable rear shocks there. Got LEDs all round. I will put in a little night riding section for you, just to see how the bike rides at night time. 8,000 mile service intervals on these, pretty much standard for Hondas, which is absolutely brilliant. And colours on these, they come in this black colour, got a grey, a blue and a green. Okay guys, I think we should do the test ride. Honda Rebel 500 test ride. Let's do this. So very easy to swing a leg over, as it's such a low bike, 690mm seat height. And if you look at me on the cutscene of the bike, you can see that I'm really easily flat-footed with legs, you know, knees bent. So if you're shorter than me, say you're 5'3", 5'2", I think this bike's going to totally work for you. If you're, say, 6 foot plus, I think it's still going to be okay, just that your knees are going to be sort of up here maybe and scrunched up a bit more. So it's a bike sort of suitable for quite a range of heights, I would say. So just run through all the controls and the switch gear. We've got a very light cable operated clutch, which is non-adjustable for span. Got your high and low beam there, and your pass, horn, indicators. Over this side we have a non-adjustable front brake lever for span, have your engine kill switch, hazards and start. So all very simple stuff, no riding modes, non-adjustable front suspension, but that's just the charm of this bike really, it's a custom cruiser. Keys on the side here, so we have a reverse LCD display here. Very sort of minimalist design, but very easy to see all the things there. Got your clock at the top there, gear position indicator, which is nice and handy, speedo, trips, miles per gallon, and fuel gauge, and all your warning lights at the bottom. So there we go. Right, we'll start her up. So parallel twin, got a lovely deep sort of rumble. Very nice indeed. Okay, so easily into first gear, and the usual lovely light, smooth, early taking Honda clutch, which is beautiful. Off we go. First off, let's see what the Rebel 500's like in a town environment. You know, it's a sort of a bike that's going to be used probably for commuting, going to work, going to the shops, that sort of thing. So we're just going to check the fueling, how it handles low speed, throttle, clutch, all that sort of stuff. So we're currently in third gear, 30 miles an hour, and the engine's very smooth. It's got a very characterful sort of throb to it. There's no nasty vibrations at this sort of speed. Throttle response, it's very nice and mellow, it's not sharp. No riding modes on this. I'm just checking for any nasty hunting, surging in the fueling. No, that's like a sewing machine, just beautiful. No problems at all there with the fueling, so that's great. Bike weighs in at about 190 kilos wet. Because it's such a low bike, all the weight's very low. It does feel very easy to handle at these sort of low speeds. Pretty good view out of the mirrors, more of that later on. I can quite easily see all the info on the speedo. Even in this direct sunlight, it looks nice and clear. So it's got forwards feet position, so mid-mounted foot position. That feels good. So just slowing it down now. Back brake is very nicely positioned with a great deal of bite to it. So just going down the gearbox now, very, very easy. So low speed handling now, just feathering the clutch in first gear, super easy, nice light clutch. And as I said, they've slightly revised the fuel map on this 500 engine as opposed to the others, the CBR and the X and the F. It's got that little bit more bottom end pickup from low RPMs, and you can really feel that as well. It's good. So just down to second now. Very, very easy manners again. Plenty of pickup from low RPM. Very nice. All the indicators and the switch gear, again, nice and tactile. Nice and easy to use and find. So, so far guys, the Rebel 500, very, very easy to use through town. Doesn't feel heavy. It's not an unduly wide bike, so you should be able to slice your way through traffic and traffic jams, no problem at all. Easy throttle, clutch and gearbox, so top marks for in town. Welcome guys to a night riding section on the 500 Rebel. Just going to see how the lights fare. We've currently got the lights on low beam, so that's on low beam. Obviously LEDs all round. Got daytime indicators on all the time as well. So I just flick it onto high beam, which does the lower lights there, if you can see that there. So low beam, and that's your high beam. Hopefully you can get that very nice and bright. High and low beam. And we have our rear light. LEDs again, looks pretty good. So, off we go. So, nice little dash there, reverse LCD, nice and clear and bright. You can adjust that for the brightness. Okay, so we're in the quiet countryside of Dorset at the moment. So let's check out what these lights are like. So low beam at the moment. Oh, it's looking good. Very, very bright white LED light. And it's very wide. Just like the CBR 500, it extends right out on the verge there at the side. And right out on the other side there. So it's a good wide bright beam, looking ahead about, I don't know, sort of 20-25 meters, something like that. So we just flick it onto the high. It's illuminating that lower section, and that really is doing a good job there, lighting up about sort of 50-60 meters ahead. A little bit of fog up here. So that's low beam, and your high beam, yeah, it's really illuminating well. Very good indeed. So back down to low beam again. Yeah, nice and bright. You can safely ride at speed at night with that, no problem. Flick it onto high. Yeah, that's really nice. We're just cruising along at the moment, not too fast. Quite a dark section now through the trees. Yeah, that's superb actually. It's quite a unique shape in terms of its sort of width. Easy to find high and low beam on the switch there. Yeah, excellent lights, no problem at all there. 5 stars. We'll just try the flasher. Yeah, that's working easy as well. Yeah, so all good guys on the lights with the 500 Rebel. Nice wide beam on high and low. Low's nice and wide, stretching out about 25 meters as I said, and high beam gives a really good flood right down the centre of the road there. So top marks for the lights guys on the 500 Rebel. We're out on the open road now in the lovely Dorset countryside south of England. So we're just going to talk through the bike in the usual way. Straight up into top gear now. Nice, easy, relaxed 50 miles an hour. And we'll just start with the mirrors. So quite little dinky little things. Quite little small little stems here, but they look the part on the bike. I can see about half of my elbows, 50% view of my elbows, but a nice clear view behind, no vibrations or anything in them, so that's all nice, good view behind there. So the riding position is quite a bit different on this sort of cruiser bobber style bike than what I'm used to. It's mid sort of leg position, so legs are sort of forward and then straight down, bent at the knees, 90 degrees down, so it's very comfortable on the legs. Seat is very, very low, so you're sat right down into the bike, and the sort of arms, is quite a stretch forwards, sort of full stretch of the arms out to the bars here. You can rake them back a little bit if you need to on the bolts here, but all in all a very sort of comfortable position, built for cruising, I'd say. So the little tiny dash there, I can see everything I need. Got the speedo, gears, fuel gauge, currently showing an amazing 82 miles per gallon UK, and I don't disbelieve that. I have tested all of the other 500s in the Honda range, and they've all come out at about 80 miles per gallon. So absolutely fantastic on the old fuel economy front there. Suspension, quite basic on this bike, non-adjustable up the front. It's giving a very nice compliant ride up the front. It's got very sort of like relaxed, lazy handling, this bike, but that's what it's meant for. Twin shocks at the rear, they feel a little bit firm. It's not like it's super plush, but again, more than adequate sort of comfort. They are preload adjustable. So seat comfort, I have been on this for quite a few hours before today. I've ridden it for about 2 hours at the most, and again, absolutely fine for the comfort of the seat. Okay, so we'll just drop it down a couple of gears down to fourth. We'll just try a little bit of a roll on. So yeah, it's very keen. Yeah, it's got plenty of pickup there. This one does have a bit more low end power than say the CMX500. So handling around the bends is nice and decent. Very easy around the bends. It's got decent tyres, Dunlops, nice and wide, so they provide lots of grip. Coming on to dual carriageway now to see how the Rebel handles the higher speeds. So we're just winding it open in fourth, into fifth, so very easily up to an indicated 70 miles an hour. Currently in top gear, sixth gear. Feels like I'm heading into a bit of a headwind at the moment. Quite a steady wind, it's not like turbulent, so it's not too bad, even though, you know, it's a naked bike. But no, the wind blast is totally acceptable. Feels quite a long wheelbase on this bike, so it's a very stable bike. It's holding its line brilliantly. Ride quality is all very acceptable. Vibrations at this sort of speed, top gear, very, very good. Nothing through the seats, nothing through the bars, and at the slightest buzz just coming through the foot pegs, but totally acceptable for a parallel twin. They all buzz a bit. I'll just drop it down to fifth to get the revs up a bit, into fifth now. Slightly more vibrations coming through the foot pegs, but again, not a deal breaker. Absolutely acceptable. Just slow it down to about 55, and then we'll just wind it open in top. There you go, there's your 60, and there's your 70. So plenty of top gear acceleration. To be honest, on a bike of this sort of style, sort of 55, 60 is a nicer speed really. Just watch the world go by, nice and relaxed and unhurried. 60 mile an hour now, the engine's just purring along, no problems at all. So you could definitely do some long distance cruising on this, guys. Put some panniers on the back, throw over sort of pannier style things, and go off for the day and have some really good times. So absolutely fine Rebel on the higher speed dual carriageways. Okay, so we're just in third gear now, just show you a little bit of acceleration. Wide open throttle, there's your 40, 50 and your 60. Top speed on this I'd estimate at around about 105-ish miles an hour, being this sort of style of bike with 47 horsepower. Overall quality of the ride is excellent, feels very well put together. Just a really nice cruising bike for this sort of type of riding really. Just try a quick brake test, nothing behind, just a front brake only. Yeah, pretty good, not too bad at all. Just a single disc on the front, but it's more than adequate. So second gear, just doing a bit of a roll on. Yeah, it's got a very charming exhaust note. It just rumbles out the back there, plenty quick enough. So at this sort of 60 miles an hour now, there's no rev counter, but it feels like it's doing about 4,000 revs this sort of speed. No vibrations through the seat or the bars, and the slightest little buzz through the pegs there. Okay, we just wrap it up somewhere up here and have a little final walk around. This will do nicely. Right, so we'll just see how it goes into first and neutral, nice and easy, first and neutral. This bike's done 1,500 miles, so it's nicely running and it's very smooth, so all good in that respect. Quick sound check. Lovely stuff. Let's have a look at that dash for you. Usual decent Honda side stand, and we turn it off on the side here. Brilliant. Yeah, I do enjoy that. It's a very relaxing bike to ride. So we'll just have a little walk round. Just look at all the build quality and everything like that. So this is a optional accessory, this rack here. So the usual brilliant 471cc parallel twin, lots of bottom end torque. It's a very sort of revvy, playful engine, great fun. Showing 82 to the gallon at the moment. I will do a final thoughts in a week or so to give you a proper fuel consumption figure, but they're going to be doing around about 80 to the gallon. Absolutely superb. Usual Honda build quality. I do believe these are, last time I read, they're made in Thailand now, these Hondas. So nice bright LED lights at night, that's good. Yeah, very good. So just see what it's like to push around a bit. So it's quite a low bike. It's very easy to push on the side, off the side stand. Easy to push, no problem at all. And it's got half decent turning circle, so you could turn that round no problem if you had to. There you go. So guys, what's your thoughts on the Honda 500 Rebel? Been out for a few years, great bike, really nice sort of cruiser bobber style, super low seat. That might be very important for you if you're looking for a really low bike. Do check one of these out, they're really nice to ride. Well priced, super, you know, you got the stellar Honda reliability, well built, and yeah, I really like them. They highly rate this bike. Do like the look of it. It looks quite menacing, I would say. So please post your comments down below, guys. Give me a like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you again in a week or two for another review. Alright guys, ride safe, all the best, and bye for now.